Hello there. In today's session, we're gonna solve one of my favorite exercises in the course of risk theory. Let's get going. So, you have been selected by the Dirección de Compromiso Social to analyze tobacco consumption habits at Universidad Anáhuac, Mexico. You have been given the following data about the amount of smoked cigarettes in a day. So, for men, the mean of smoked cigarettes is of 6 and the variance is of 64. For women, the mean is of 3 and the variance is of 31. The number of men in the sample size n is binomially distributed with parameters n and zero point 0.4. We need to determine the mean plus the standard deviation in a sample of 8 people. Now, to solve this exercise, the only thing we need is to just recall this data and a couple of formulae. The formula we need to keep in mind are, first of all, the fact that the expectation of a random variable is given by the theorem of iterated expectation, like this. Second, we need to just recall that the variance of a random variable is given by the variance of, by the expectation of the variance of the same random variable given another random variable plus the variance of the expectation of this thing here. So that's it. Now, if we let just S be the number of cigarettes smoked by all 8 people, and let X be the number of men in the group of 8 people, then by the data in the problem, we know that X is binomially distributed with parameters 8 and 0.4, right? Now, this means that the expectation of X is given by what? Well, that is just 8 times 0.4, right? So the expectation is just 3.2. Now the variance of X, that's just the multiplication of the parameters times the multiplication by the complement to 1 of the probability, right? Now, what is the expectation in this case? The conditional expectation of S given X. Well, the conditional expectation we're looking for of S given X is given by 6 times X plus 3 times 8 minus X. Why is this? Well, because we just need to recall that we have this data here, okay? So this 6 is just the mean for men, and this 3 is just the mean for women. The X is just the number of men, and the number X, 8 minus X, is just the number of women, okay? Now, what is the variance of the conditional expectation of S given X? Well, that is just by using the numbers of the second row, what? 64 times X plus 31 times 8 minus X. Now, the conditional expectation is just by just reducing the similar terms, 24 plus 3x, and the conditional variance is just 248 plus 33x. Now all we have to do is just to apply these two formula here, this one and this one, right? And we'll just end up having our result. Now, all we have to do is to take the expectation of S by just using this expression here. So what we need is to take this expectation of S by means of what? The expectation of the conditional expectation, right? This is just the expectation of the conditional expectation of S given X, right? And what is that? Well, that is just the expectation of 24 plus 3x, which is this number right here, okay? Now, all we need to do is to take the expectation of 24, that's just 24, and we just need to do 3 times the expectation of x. But the expectation of x is given by 3.2 there. So the expectation of s is just 33.6. Now, for the variance, and that is by means of this formula here, right? What we need is just to compute the expectation of the conditional variance, and then we need to add up to that the variance of the conditional expectation. Now, to do that, all we need is to take the expectation of this variance here, right? And then we'll have to take the variance of this expectation here, right? So let us just write that. So the variance of S is given by what? The expectation of 248 plus 33x, and then we have to take the variance of 24 plus 3x, right? Now, for the first part, that is for this expectation right here, what we need is just to write that down, right? And then, okay, what is 248 plus 33 times this expectation? This expectation here. So that is this number, right? And then we just need to take the variance of there, 24 plus 3x. Okay, the variance of 24, that's just 0. And then we just need to take the 3 out of the variance. So what we have is just this 9, right? Times the variance of x. But this is just this number here. So that's it. So the variance is given by this number plus this other number here, right? And then the solution is just, remember that we were asked for the mean plus the standard deviation. So the mean is just this number here. And then we have to take the square root of this number here, right? So this is our result, and that's it for today. Thank you very much.